You're listening to the Epically Geeky Show, a place for all things geeky.
Welcome out to the Epically Geeky Show, episode number 178. I'm your host for the evening, Eugene Stevens. Tonight, I'm joined by Kris, Ray, Joseph, and Jen. How's everyone doing?
Awake.
Woo!
Happy Thanksgiving to the Canadians.
Happy Canadian Thanksgiving.
Yep. So let's go ahead and get right on into it with our opening question. If you could haunt a location, where would it be? If you could haunt a location, where would it be? Would anyone like to go first?
Yeah, I might as well.
All right, Ray, where are you going to haunt?
So this is very, very specific because I'm going to be pissed about this when it happens.
Okay.
Whatever replaces the Muppet Theater in Disneyland, I'm fucking haunting the shit out of that. I'm really going to work on my Statler and Waldorf in order to make sure that everybody knows how ridiculous it is that they got rid of it.
Nice.
Yeah.
So out of spite, you're haunting it pretty much out of spite.
Oh, fuck yeah.
It's personal.
Yeah, fair enough.
Whatever controls there, like the show is never going to work right. It's always going to be fucked up. Nothing will work correctly until there's Muppets back in that area. And then I might stick around just to help the hecklers.
Yeah, there you go. Kris, would you like to go next?
Sure.
Where are you haunting?
Ray. Or, if that's not possible, because you guys before me, a forest is fine.
A forest?
It's a forest.
Just a forest. Just random forest.
Would you want to be like European or?
No, it doesn't matter. Just a forest.
Just
a nice forest. You know, a nice one, maybe a little water.
A native forest, not one of those plantation forests. It's just
No, like a nice diverse, with the 3 levels of succession thing going on. Yeah, a nice forest. Yeah, I'd haunt the shit out of it.
Yeah, you would.
Or Ray. It just depends.
Or Ray. Okay.
Or just Ray all the time.
Fair enough. Yeah. So, Ray, obviously, you're not getting remarried.
No.
Not even an option now.
Try.
They would have me. That's just my wife. It's fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
You know how most people are like, she would want you to be happy, and be like, no, this bitch.
No.
I'm already writing. I'm already writing like a comedy movie where this has happened, and like Ray happens to find someone, and when they find out, they're into it, and then both Ray and Kris are like, what?
Yeah.
I've always wanted.
This is weird.
That's a person that would believe in big weather.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Joseph, you want to go next?
Sure. So I said I would tether myself to the piece of genetic code that it makes me and all the way back and forward so that I could follow my family throughout history.
Oh, that's cool.
Whoever's next in line.
Okay.
I originally thought I was like, well, maybe I'll haunt my parents' house, but then when my parents go and someone not in my family buys that home, then I'm just gonna be constantly haunting and just random people all the time. At least this way, I get to follow along with my family.
Right.
That's cool.
Fair enough. Jen, where are you haunting?
Well, I was on the same wavelength as Kris, and not that I want to haunt Ray, but
She's gonna haunt Ray too.
I wanted to haunt a greenhouse.
What are you gonna haunt?
A greenhouse.
Okay, fair enough.
I don't have one in mind, but I just thought that would be a fun thing to haunt because you're constantly around plants and it's enclosed, so
And it's
You don't get cold.
Yeah, I never get cold. I'm always
Fair enough.
By big weather.
Yep.
Well, speaking of which, I decided I was going to try to do some good after I died, and I was going to haunt the state capitol, and just like be like, I don't understand, why is all this crap happening? I don't know. Did you pass a bill that maybe you shouldn't have?
Yeah, hundreds
I'm
of
just
years.
saying, like, so who was it? Someone asked me, like, when you say haunt, define it. And I'm like, well, okay, we're talking about like noises, maybe moving some stuff around, like general haunt stuff, not like full on poltergeist, like Beetlejuice level shit. So,
Oh, really? That's
But-
how you
now if you could, then yes, definitely the state capitol still.
that's what I
Sorry, someone needs attention from Daddy. You're kind of in the way though. Anyway, so tonight's topic was brought to us by Ray. Brought to us by a different podcast. We kind of did our own spin on it, but tell us. You want to go ahead and tell us what our topic is, Ray?
Yeah, so I was listening to the Watcher podcast. Listening to it anyway. So one of the questions from the fans was, what things would they need to summon your friend? So what, like, if your friends were going to summon you, what are the items that they would need to put in the Pentagon in order to summon you? I thought it was kind of a funny idea. It was actually brought up on the podcast that that's a good icebreaker conversation, is to get to know someone. So what the hell?
A point of clarification, just because of what you said, Ray. Are we using a pentagon or a pentagram?
Oh, whatever we want.
Either, whatever works for you.
I'm into the math-based summoning.
Okay, fair enough.
So we need to add a category. What shape do you need?
Thanks, bud.
Nice.
I'm tired. I've seen too many people.
All right. We'll tell you what. So the initial three things that he said was eating something, drinking something, and burning something. And then we kind of worked it out and decided that the other things that you would need would be something to wear, something to bless, something meaningful, and then a word of power, what the word you'd actually use to bring the person back. And so I kind of we workshopped it a little bit, and so this is going to be something you would eat, something that represents that person, something you would drink that represents the person, something to burn. So that's going to be something you hate, or something that represents something you hate. Wear, of course, is just how you dress. Please don't chew on that. Something to bless is something that represents you, and then something meaningful is something that's close to you. So. All right. So with that being said, would anyone like to start us off?
Are we going to list them all, or are we going to go like one category at a time?
Tell you what, let's pick a category and go around.
Yeah.
All right. Tell you what, I'll go first. I hardly go first on this, so I'll go first. So, and I'm going to go ahead and just go in order. So we're going to start off with something you eat. So on the pentagram, not Pentagon. On the pentagram, the first thing that you will be doing is taking a bite out of a nice juicy cheeseburger and leaving it there as one of the markers to bring old Eugene back. I've gotten really good at making burgers. Even I love burgers regardless, but I've gotten really good at it on my Blackstone, and it's one. So you see things, you read things, you hear things. And you don't put two and two together until someone just kind of points out, and you're just like, oh yeah, why not? Why wouldn't I do that? And I was watching a YouTube video the other day, and this guy was like, yeah, I'm gonna make smash burgers, but I'm gonna use donuts for the bun. And I'm just like, I need to give this a shot. So that may be happening this weekend, we're going to say. So I got some family coming in, so that may be something that I have to make. So would you please leave that alone? All right. So I'm just going to keep going around the way my screen's set up. So Kris, you're up next.
Cool. Okay. So mine would be a loaf of artisanal sourdough bread.
Nice.
Not regular sourdough, though.
No, absolutely not.
Artisanal.
So what makes it artisanal?
I don't know.
It's been alive for like 5 generations.
Yeah.
It's made by an artist.
The sourdoughs, the starters come from like the old country or something like that. It's made with like some ancient grains. I don't know.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm not just going to go down to like Walmart and pick up a loaf of bread. This is not going to work.
Walmart has good sourdough.
Fair enough, but I don't know if it's artisanal.
No, it's not.
It says it is.
Oh, fair enough. Okay. Oh, Ray, what are we taking a bite out of to bring you back?
So, and I'm sorry, Jen, I don't mean to steal anything on you here if this is the case, but when I was a kid, it was always a special meal. We always got pizza, but not just pizza. We'd also get fresh cut fries. So I'd always have a slice of pizza, and you got to have some fresh cut fries beside it, and that's the meal that you gotta bring it. And
Nice.
I don't understand fries with pizza, but go on.
It's just something that my parents, we had a really popular restaurant that when I was a kid we'd always go to. They had the fantastic fries, and it was a pizza joint as well, and so we just always got fresh cut fries with pizza, and I'm like, hell yeah, this is
What kind of pizza?
See, just simple pepperoni and cheese.
Okay,
Nice and simple. Nothing
fair
major.
enough.
They have chips or fries with everything here in
Mhm.
Ireland, and it drives me mad. Like pizza, Indian food, Chinese food, everything, and none of it goes together. I'm like, you shouldn't have. I like fries and I like that food, but I don't want them together. Pasta? No, it doesn't. It blows my mind.
Listen, you haven't lived till you've had butter chicken poutine.
Oof,
You don't need to eat that. That sounds gross.
routine, though.
That is
Nice. All right, Joseph, what are we eating to bring you back?
So actually, the food and drink portion of this is actually very close to me culturally, because this would be like making an altar for Dia de los Muertos, Day of the Dead. So I actually had this locked and loaded. Like that was the easiest part to do, because that's what I would ask my progeny to do if they want to do an altar for me. So arroz con pollo, that would be chicken and rice. That is specifically the Mexican kind. That is my comfort food. That is, I could eat that all day, every day. You know, my mom makes it really well. She's taught Elaine how to make it really well. When I crave it, I will make it myself. So yeah, that will always hold a place for me.
Nice. Good deal. Jen, can we guess?
Well, it's actually not pizza.
What?
It's and this will not come as a surprise to you once you hear Eugene, but a big container full of the most buttery, salty popcorn you could imagine.
That's my girl. That's why I love you.
And like once you've had a bite and you're resuscitated from the cholesterol and the heart attack, then you can move on with the rest of the summoning.
Fair enough. Nice. Yeah, as soon as you said one pizza, I was like, oh, it has to be the other thing. Like, because Jen's known for two things, and that's there you go. Awesome. Yeah, I'm still trying to get used to the fact that my new movie theater, the one that I go to now, the one in Harker Heights, doesn't have the salt shakers. So
You can ask for it.
Can you?
Ask them when they put the popcorn in if they'll give you a container with it for the orange salt.
Okay.
Or you can just like get the packets at the thing. But
Oh, I just carry it with me. I just now have a travel container that I carry with me. The other thing that I'm running into that is kind of an issue is like they don't have the trays that come down in front of you. So like at the other movie theater, like I would just like take some napkins and put out beside me. So I'd dump some popcorn out for one of the boys and dump some out for the other one, and we'd be good to go. But they don't have that. So I'm just like, well,
do they
otherwise
not
they have to keep
cardboard trays.
Well, I thought about that, but sometimes it falls through. So what I'm thinking about doing is, you probably don't know.
Bring a container.
Guarantee Joseph knows. I've got a feeling Ray and Kris know. You know those little containers that fold down and it's like you pull them up, they pop them up, and like it's for like dog water or whatever when you're traveling.
Oh yeah.
I'm thinking about getting a couple of those and just tell the boys, hey, that's going to be your popcorn container.
Yeah,
So,
that works.
because that way they'll fold down, they'll be nice and flat. You can easily carry them in with you, and I'm just not going to tell them, oh yeah, by the way, that's normally a dog water container. So just be like, hey, there's your bowl.
Yeah.
Get the ones that are designed to be stools, and you can get like the large popcorn.
Yeah.
Nice.
you bring garbage bags.
Empty it and then refill it right there if they still do the free refill.
Oh, okay. So you have to buy the extra large popcorn to get the free refill, but yes. So
Well, why wouldn't
anyway,
you? Take it home.
all right. Tell you what, Kris, you're up next. Which one do you want to do?
Well, just something to drink.
All right, let's go with drink. So, what do you drink to bring Kris back?
So I did give two options, depending on availability. No, I'm trying to think of other people here. So there's it's President's Choice, which is like a no name here in one of the grocery chains, and they have a peach mango sparkling water.
Mhm.
Or
Or
not available. It gets sold out. A small almond milk vanilla latte from Tim Hortons. It has to be small because I can't drink any more than that, and it has to be almond milk because I can't have dairy.
fair enough.
And oat is gross.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I don't know why. It just makes it taste disgusting.
It's gonna be awesome when someone goes in and orders a medium, and they're just like, "I don't understand. Why can't I bring her back? I don't get it."
Work.
Had to be small.
It's fucking soy milk.
They goofed and given me a medium, and then I can only drink half it before it goes cold.
And I'm not finishing
No,
it
because he thinks it's disgusting. And I don't like cold coffee, so yeah.
Nice.
In fact, I've gotten so anytime I go to the Timmy's and I order it now, I've gotten in the habit of
Smells it.
sipping it. Well,
Or you sip it?
I'll smell it, and if I can't tell if the almond milk is in it, I'll take a sip. And if it's terrible, I'm like, okay, she'll like it. If it's like, oh, there's something like it's okay, like, oh, it's oat milk, that's not going to go well. So
Fair
I
enough.
can get their almond milk.
It's disgusting. I'm like,
Nice. Stop. This is why I don't leave you in here. I have a helper tonight, and he's all about my stand here. All right, Ray, what are we drinking to bring you back?
So I was really trying to think about this one, and at the end of the day, it's the one that I drink almost every day. It's a Timmy's medium coffee, 2 cream, 1 sugar, and it's just an easy, simple coffee. It's
All right.
it's, I don't know. It's the one that I drink the most often. So if I'm coming back, I might as well drink that too.
Fair enough.
And
Yeah.
If somebody's trying to summon you guys not in Canada, they're screwed.
Oh yeah, like we clearly have to bring him back to Canada.
Yes. You know what? Sweeten it with maple syrup, and then I'll really make sure.
Ray comes back super powered.
yeah.
All right, Joseph, what are we drinking to bring you back?
A ice cold Mexican Coke.
Ooh, that's a good one.
It's the best.
That's a good one. And it has to be in a glass bottle.
Yes.
Yes, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
So, can you get Mexican Coke in a can or anything else but a bottle?
You can, but only in Mexico.
Okay, fair enough.
I've never seen them out here.
I can't imagine. Like, I can't even imagine what it would taste like coming out of a can. Like, that is very specific to the glass bottle for me. So, Jen, what are we drinking to bring you back?
Well, the only acceptable thing to have with a giant bucket of movie theater popcorn is cherry Coke. So a nice tall glass of cherry Coke.
Fair enough.
If that's not available, I'll also accept Dr. Pepper, but don't come at me with any diet shit or regular
What about
Coke.
cherry Dr. Pepper?
That's also acceptable, yes.
Okay.
But the other flavored Dr. Peppers, no. Like, I don't want strawberry or cream soda or any of that. No.
The coconut one was okay.
What?
No, actually, it was. It was all right. It was okay.
I agree with him. It was okay.
So
I didn't.
I may have just lost Chris's friendship.
No, not you. I mean, I don't blame you. It was there. I probably would have tried it too, but just like, why?
Okay, well, let me put it this way. Like, I was told it was really good. I wanted to try it, so I bought it, and I was just like, it's okay. I didn't ever buy it again. I was just like, it's not bad, but it wasn't like, oh no, this is like my new.
But
go-to.
that's somebody in the Dr. Pepper lab being like, you know what would be fucking delicious? Yeah.
Okay, well, let me explain why it makes sense. Because you take the Dr. Pepper and you put it in the Malibu rum, and that tastes fantastic. So it's like that, but without the alcohol.
You're outnumbered.
Not me at all.
So, all right, well, fair enough.
I do have a question, a quick Canadian question for the Americans who have like insane variety at a grocery store. Is the 7-Up Shirley Temple like drink real? Because I've seen it a couple times at Instagram.
It's not called Shirley Temple, but it's just cherry 7-Up.
Cherry 7-Up.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And yes,
Oh,
it is.
see, the thing said Shirley Temple, and I keep looking for it, and I
No.
thought it said this. Okay, come on.
Yep. All right. So yeah, mine's very simple. Just almost opposite of Jen's is because I have the sugars. Dr Pepper zero sugar. I have because of my diabetes, I've had to cut out high sugar sodas, and like I'm perfectly fine with Dr Pepper Zero and Coke Zero and Sprite Zero. Like I actually kind of prefer them now. Every so often I'll get an actual the original version or whatever, and just like, oh man, that's still pretty good, but all right, not eating anything else tonight. So especially no dessert. So yeah.
Well, I was going to ask though, if you're gone, does it matter if it's Coke or Dr Pepper Zero? Like, could you just come back for the full sugar version?
Probably, I would probably come back for either. You're right. If I'm not having to worry about that, then yeah, either way. So, but this has just become my go-to all the time. So, in fact, this is all we keep in the house. So, pretty much, so probably how you would bring my boys back or Christy. So, all right, Ray. What's our next topic?
So I'm gonna go to where.
All right, we're going to where.
And I had to pick these out because I love them when I was a teen. And yeah, I had a pair. There was a really popular brand up this way. It's called Mod Ropes. And they're a wide leg pant, and you would definitely get the wide leg version.
Okay.
They're like a hospital pant, but they were the most comfortable pant ever. They were extremely popular.
Oh yeah, huge up here.
They were massive, and they've actually come back, and you can buy them, but they are extremely expensive now. But yeah, if specifically if you got the orange wide leg Mod Ropes and you put them down, I'm coming for them because I gotta wear them again.
You're gonna have to send me a picture of what these
Are
look
they like
like.
Jinko jeans?
Oh,
Or...
no.
So they're
I just Googled them. Okay.
like the cotton fabric kind of.
They're so comfy, man.
Whatever hospital scrubs are made out of, that's material that Mod Ropes were made out of. They were very popular when we were in high school.
And they stretch.
And all because they have an elastic waist, and all the cool kids had.
Oh yeah.
I think I managed to. Mine were navy blue, and they had cargo pockets.
Yep.
There's a video on their page.
Yep.
The most Canadian people I've ever seen in my life.
That makes sense. They were awesome.
They were very comfy.
All right, I'm gonna have to look these up then. Joseph, what are we wearing to bring you back?
A pair of glasses.
Just a pair of glasses.
Just a pair of glasses.
Okay.
Really neat.
Yeah.
I mean, they're definitely needed. Jen?
I put hiking boots, my hiking boots, because
Okay, yeah.
that's on brand. And
Yeah. I thought for sure you were going to say a jacket of some sort.
well, I thought about that. I was like something to keep me warm, a coat or a sweater, but
But if you're hunting a greenhouse, that's fine.
True, yeah.
I won't need that. I'll need the boots.
Exactly, yeah.
And then I can go with Kris through the woods and help her,
There you go.
take turns.
Absolutely.
Fair enough. Mine's pretty obvious. It's a blue caddy hat. Like I keep going through them. Like I'm probably close to needing to retire the one I currently have, just because it's, for day-to-day wear, you want them to look a little bit nicer. But like when I wear the one that I wear with my Ghostbusters stuff like that, the rest of my uniform looks like it's been to hell and back. The hat goes right along with it. Like someone was like, "And you need to replace your hat," and I'm like, Do I look like this is brand new? Like I specifically weathered this to look like it's been to hell. So, and they're just like, "Oh yeah, I guess so. I guess it goes with it." So,
Yeah.
Of course, this was just art. This was naturally weathered, unlike the rest of it. So, Kris, what are we wearing to bring you back?
A t-shirt with high-waisted. This is important. High-waisted. Wide leg pants with sneakers. Because if I'm
A
frolicking,
whole outfit.
I need footwear, and I also don't want to be naked because I don't know why you. Are you clothed? Do you come back in the clothes you were buried in? I don't know. Just start on a basis.
Fair enough. I see it filling out like in Beetlejuice, like when the clothes fill out. It's like literally you have the whole thing. The rest of it's like the hat's just like raising up or whatever, but hers is like the whole thing. So, all right, Joseph, you get our next choice. You still have what we're going to burn, bless, and something meaningful, and then we'll leave word of power to bring us back last.
I'll go with burn to get
All right. So, what hated item are we going to burn to bring you back?
literally anything with the Philadelphia Eagles logo on it.
All right. Why?
Because he's a Cowboys fan.
I'm a Cowboys fan.
Pardon?
They would be the Dallas Cowboys like rival, but they're also terrible human beings.
Oh.
Like, if you ever hear stories about like the worst fan bases in whatever city, no matter what you hear, the Philadelphia fans will have beat them. They lost a game once a few years back, and there was a Salvation Army Santa outside their stadium collecting. They started throwing batteries at him.
Wait, were they the ones that trashed their own city when
Yes.
they won?
Yes.
Like,
Well,
they're
they're
winners.
one
even?
of the teams that have done that before.
Yes.
I was going to say,
They lost to the Minnesota Vikings in the playoffs a couple years ago, and the police escort had to call a police escort for the Minnesota's bus because people were throwing rocks and bricks and like shooting at it.
Ew.
Oh, lovely. Lovely.
Over a game where people throw balls.
Yes.
Yep.
Wasn't Jason Kelsey on the Eagles?
Yes.
He's not anymore.
No, he retired
He's
last year.
a horrible human being. He seems like a little pudding pop of a guy.
Most of the players are
It's just that-
Regular people, it's the fans that are horrible.
fans.
Okay, I got it. All right.
I was going to say Vancouver kind of burned their city to the ground for a
They
little while
rioted.
too after they lost in Game 7 for the Stanley Cup final 10,
Vancouver
15 years ago.
Canucks.
Yeah.
You know, hooligans. They're hooligans.
Sports are
Yeah.
toxic.
Yeah.
I agree. I would just be like, well, sorry, you don't have a team anymore. You can have it back in a decade when you grow up.
Yep.
Jen, what are we burning to bring you back?
Well, my first instinct was the picture of a certain politician that I can't stand, but since I don't want to be divisive and
Fair
political,
enough.
I thought, what else do I currently hate right now at this point in my life? And it doesn't really make sense for burning because it would cause an explosion probably, but basically any manual transmission I would accept as something that I hate that you could burn or, damage.
Can we burn a toy of a manual transmission?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay,
At high
fair
enough
enough.
temperatures, anything will burn.
That's
Yes, exactly.
that,
Drop it
that's
into
a
the sun. I don't care, but
that's a large thing to burn to bring.
fuck manuals right now. They're the bane of my existence.
Fair enough. The thing I'm going to burn, or you're going to burn to bring me back, is symbolic. It's a TV guide, specifically because it's a TV guide that has all of these. What are they called? Reality TV shows, that type of thing.
So
Not so much like the competition shows. Like the competition shows, whatever. But like the ones of, I'm famous, so I'm going to have a show just to have a show. I cannot stand those shows. And I was just like, well, how can I burn one of those shows? I'm just like, oh, TV guide, even though that's probably not a real thing anymore. So
You find those TV
exactly.
guides.
So you're gonna have to go find an older version, and burn it. So
Spend a lot on eBay.
it's funny because I can hear Elaine upstairs watching Real Housewives of.
Whatever.
Sounds like Jersey.
fair enough. That'd be a good example right there. So, Kris, what are we burning to bring you back?
The dreams of my enemies.
How are we going?
Okay.
Just that.
You'd have to write down their dreams.
Okay, fair enough.
Okay.
Write them down and then like burn them on a piece of paper.
Okay.
You figure it out. Do what you need, but that's what you gotta do.
What if a lot of time has passed and you don't have all your enemies are dead?
No, they'll still be around.
then it's their children.
Okay, I was going to say there will be new ones to rise. Okay. Ray, what are we bring you back?
Wallpaper. More specifically, the more intricate the wallpaper, the more it's going to burn hot. Like, fuck those.
I could have picked such a worse pattern than I did.
I'm aware.
And he's salty. It's one wall. It's a
Fucking
5-foot wide wall by
You
9.
could pay me enough to
Do
do
you not
wallpaper.
get them to line up, Ray?
Oh, I got it to line up. It's fucking fantastic. I hated every minute of it.
Yeah.
Take long. It's just being your brat.
I hate it.
Fair enough, man. Fair enough. Jen, do you want to do something to bless or something meaningful?
I guess something to bless.
All right. So what item represents you that we're going to bless to bring you back?
A plant.
Oh, of course.
House plant, not house plant. I don't care. Just a plant. I'll take any plant.
Fair enough.
Weeds, vegetables, whatever, as long as it has roots.
Does it have to be real?
Grew in the ground. Well, yes.
Well, I'll figure. I'm clarifying here, okay?
I'm not taking
What
that
if there are
plastic shit.
If I ever have to bring you back, I've got to make sure I have good
There may not
notes.
be, there may not be real plants in the future. but-
Oh, come on. If there's no more real plants, I don't think we're bringing anyone back. I think we're already in that much trouble.
Yeah.
So-
Come back.
I
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, no shit. She's like, no, I'm out. Bye.
I'll be back.
See where I'm at.
Can you imagine that would actually make a pretty good like Saturday Night Live short, like that they're doing this ritual and they bring someone back. When they come back, they're just like, oh no, this is awful. I'm
Actually,
gone.
yeah.
For the warm place I was in.
Yeah, thanks, no thanks. Something to bless. There are certain things that I thought of, but I'm just like, no, I've got to be honest. What represents me right now, and it's a ghost trap. Plus, it's kind of funny that you'd be bringing me back using a ghost trap. I kind of like the irony of that. So,
It's good.
I was going to say my matrix to leadership back over here, but I was like, no, everyone knows me for Ghostbusters right now, so I'm going to use a ghost trap. So that'll be fun. But you know what else? I could have picked a PKA meter. That would have been fun because then the PKE meter would have gone off as I showed back up. So yeah. All right, Kris. What item are we blessing to bring you back?
So, two of my favorite authors are Larissa Ione and Sherilyn Kenyon. So, either one of their books.
Okay.
Yes, please.
Nice.
Yep.
Ray, what are we blessing to bring you back?
So, mine's a little bit. I'm hoping that it brings them luck when you bless this. This is why I'm doing this, because
Okay.
for God's sakes, the Leafs need to win a fucking cup at some point. So it's a winter classic retro style Leafs jersey, and you have to bless it, and hopefully that'll give them some luck and they'll actually win the cup for once.
Nice.
Then you're gonna have to burn it.
Nice. Joseph, what are we blessing to bring you back?
Anything that has, you can find them a lot around Christmas time. Anything that has that little red vintage pickup that has the tree sticking out the back.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Anything that has that. Elaine knows I am like weirdly obsessed with those things. Anytime I go anywhere that I see them, I very much want to buy the thing that it's on.
Okay. That's
I don't
a
know why.
thing.
I have no clue where that comes from. I'm assuming that somewhere in my childhood it was part of my grandmother's Christmas village, but I really don't know.
Nice. I need to find an actual one with a Christmas tree that, take a picture in it or something. So,
Is there a version? Sorry, I'm having a hard time picturing this one.
It's a
Red.
tiny pickup truck.
yeah, it's an old timey, think an old Ford or an old Chevy pickup truck that's got a Christmas tree kind of hanging out the back. It's kind of a Southern thing, I think.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
We have that up here.
okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's like a standard Christmas thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
People paint them on different decorations and stuff like
right,
that.
Eugene.
You what?
So I never considered it a Southern thing, but I think you're right.
So, all right. So the last thing is, well, there's two things left. The word power to bring us back, but the last thing that you're going to have is something meaningful, something that is meaningful to you. And the first thing that popped in my mind, I was just like, no, I don't know. I don't want to use this because it's kind of dopey, but I couldn't think of anything else. And I was just like, no, I'm going to be true to this. So, also, I was playing Castlevania 2 earlier this week. My wedding ring would be the meaningful thing to bring me back. I'm very proud of the fact that after 22 years of marriage, I still have my original wedding ring. I know a lot of people can't say that. But yeah, it's and it's not like it's I don't have it on right now, but it's not like it's like it stands out in any way. It's just a very simple gold ring. But yeah, like that would be the thing. So that would be the last thing you'd have to have. That would be the hardest thing to find to bring me back. So
Not the TV guide.
not the TV guide. No, you
The
can
wedding
find
ring.
those. Yeah, you can find those in places. So, Kris, what meaningful item are we going to use to bring you back?
So Ray has carved me the 5 wizards of Middle Earth. But you would need the Gandalf one
Okay,
that Ray carved for me.
nice.
So bring them all and just put them in there.
No, I've already named them all. I already know which ones are which.
Right, but if they're all in there,
No,
okay.
the one.
You're picking when you.
She will not accept.
I'm worth it if you really want me back. First of all, you really have had to
You
thought
had-
about that. Like think
had-
about it.
This better not be calling me back just to
No.
ask where like something is.
Exactly.
I'm going to be
Don't
pissed
go around
if
and
that's what
find
it is.
out, right? Like, let's not do that.
You brought me back to ask where the spaghetti sauce is. Are you
I know, right?
really?
Now I'm burning the house down.
Jeez.
I like you.
I know.
Ray, what item or what special item are we using to bring you back?
I had to do the same thing, Eugene.
There you go.
It's nice and simple. No, nothing major to it. Sorry, John. But it was like, I don't know, just it's a thing that makes sense. My original one is gone, by the way.
Mhm.
It's on some golf course somewhere.
Or somebody else is getting it in and it's sold or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it was okay. It was,
Years ago.
yeah. No.
Years and years ago.
But I actually never did like that one. It was one that we settled on.
Mhm.
Because how fast we were getting paid.
Yeah, and how little money we had.
That's
So,
Yeah, fair enough. That's one reason why mine is a very simple ring. But then again, I was like, if I'm going to wear this and like be doing work and stuff, I don't want to necessarily catch on anything. Or I was just like, nope, simple gold ring. But no, I totally get that.
yeah. We found that one in Jamaica last December.
Yep.
Very cool. Yeah, I don't think Christy would let me get one of those that like glow in the dark or whatever. Like, I don't think she would be okay with that, even though I think that would look cool, but whatever. So, Joseph, what special item are we using to bring you back?
Swear to God, if you say your wedding ring, I'm leaving.
Jen's leaving.
Well, the sappiness continues because it is also my wedding ring.
Win.
Mostly because it is obviously meaningful to me because my marriage and whatnot. But it was also my father's, so it's
Okay, that's super cool.
he bought that for his wedding in '77, so it's going on. It's almost 50 years old at this point.
Yeah, 77, I know.
So yeah, that would be the thing. So hopefully, it's something that I can pass on. My mother's wedding band is also Elaine's wedding band. For those of you that did not know that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Very cool. All right, Jen. What special item are we? Really? What special? I look like I was about to get attacked by a cat. What special item are we using to bring you back?
Mine is not nearly as thoughtful and sweet as any of yours because I could not decide on any piece of jewelry or other like family heirloom because I really don't. Yeah. So I just went with my giant box of Cards Against Humanity.
No, that is totally
Back
you.
in the
I
States.
totally get that.
It's the biggest, blackest box, and it's got every expansion pack pretty much ever printed, and
Cool.
it's unfortunately inaccessible at the moment. It's buried in my storage unit, but it has a lot of memories associated with it, so that's meaningful, but also just, yeah, it's my personality, I guess.
I think that's a perfect item for you, to be honest, because we played that game together a lot. I know you've played it with a lot of other people.
Yeah.
It's a way to have a lot of fun. No, I totally get that. I think that's a great object, honestly. So, all right. So before Kris, we're going to start with you because we're going back around this way. So before we start, what I would like you to do is, with your word of power, I need you to go through and list the 6 objects that are going to be sitting in this pentagram and what word of power or phrase of power people are going to use to actually bring you back. So, so go ahead.
Okay, so there, the loaf of artisanal bread, the peach mango fizzy water and/or small vanilla latte, dreams of my enemies, the t-shirt with high-waisted wide leg jean sneakers, the Gandalf figurine, the book, and the word no, or the entirety of Savage Garden's I Want You.
What the fuck?
I know that entire song.
Oh, God.
I don't know why. I just
Can we go to karaoke someday? And
Did you say no was the other option?
Yes.
Just the word no.
No.
Just,
No.
Nope.
No.
Is it a normal no or like a nar? Like an Australian no.
No.
Nar, nar.
Very
Come back.
Canadian no.
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 All I can picture is from the Magic 2.0 series, because remember that was what's her name's word whenever she used her special greeting and it caused the cone to come up to protect her. That's all I could think of was you just go no, and like anyone standing around you just go rah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Or the entire lyrics to
Savage Gardens, I Want You.
I Want You. That's a fantastic song, by the way.
Thank you.
So
Yes,
I would, if there's a situation like someone's barreling down on us, we've got to bring you back for some reason to like help save the day. I'm going with no.
Oh God.
Because otherwise, be like, damn it, I missed a word.
Yeah, exactly.
Gotta start over.
Start over. Oh wait,
Start
the
over,
latte
crap.
got cold. Shit.
Oh, that's fantastic.
It's got to be a hot latte. Damn it.
Yeah.
All right, Joseph. I'm sorry, Ray. What 6 items do we have, and then what word are we using or phrase are we using to bring you back?
So you've got your pizza with the fresh cut fries, salted, nice, ready to go. You got your Timmy's cup with the 2 cream and 1 sugar coffee. Then you've got the burning wallpaper, and man, it better be very elaborate, and it's colorful as it's burning. Then you got your mod robes that are just in there, nice and wide legs, are good. What happened?
His camera died. So Joseph's camera died, and he was like typing up. He's like, "I'll be right back," and like we can kind of hear. I think we can kind of hear Lainey in the background.
There, so better read my notes.
All right.
Keep going.
All right.
You're
So
aware.
yeah, they got the mod robes, the wide leg orange ones. Then you've got the classic winter retro Leafs jersey that you've blessed, and they're gonna win the fucking cup for once. And then everybody's
And your
gonna.
wedding ring.
Oh yes, and then you got my wedding ring that's there as well. So everything's all kind of planned out. And then the phrase that you have to say is "Who shot who in the what now?" Because it's Simpsons related, which is like, yeah. Oh, Joseph's back, which is even better.
Mm.
we should have had to have his things in here and then bring him back.
There he is. Okay.
So yeah, it was that one. I was thinking of like, the one question would be like how, because I'm a very curious person.
Mhm.
That's too dumb.
I took it as like,
And then-
wow.
Yeah, how? And then the other thing I thought of was sorry, because
Because obviously.
obviously, and I do say it a lot. It is very
Yeah.
ingrained in me. So I'll go with sorry or who shot who in the what now.
Nice.
So it'd be like, sorry for bringing you back, for inconveniencing you from beyond the grave.
Yes. All right, Joseph, we'll go with you next because that's the original order I had. So if you would list the 6 items and then what the word or phrase to bring you back would be.
Yeah. All right. So we're doing arroz con pollo, a Mexican Coke, something with the logo of the Philadelphia Eagles, a pair of glasses, one of those vintage red trucks hauling a Christmas tree, my wedding ring. So the 5 plus the one in the middle. We'll put the ring in the middle.
Okay.
And so I have 2 phrases depending on the situation.
Okay.
So I'm assuming that if I have been communicating with the people that are summoning me, I'm doing it because I want to be brought back for whatever reason.
Mhm.
So in that case, in Dova, it would be Las Yahnir, which means life, seek, hunt. So it's the aura whisper, word of power. Assuming my aura is being brought.
Okay.
If I'm being pulled from the ether against my will, they would be using the soul tear, word of power, which is Rivazol, which means essence tear zombie. And I would be there against my will.
Okay.
And that's the nerdiest thing you guys are going to hear today.
That's nice. Well, I thought I was a nerd.
All right, Jen, rename your 6 items and what word or phrase we're using to bring you back.
Okay. So you're chowing on some popcorn, heavily salted and buttered movie theater popcorn, obviously. Washing that down with a cherry Coke, and you're sitting there next to the fire of a manual transmission somehow not exploding, while wearing my hiking boots and blessing a plant, and maybe playing a game of my special Cards Against Humanity box.
Right.
And so I'm going to follow in the rest of your footsteps and have 2 options, if you'd like. One is May the Force be with you.
Good one.
And if you want to go for the short version, just pretzel.
Okay. Not what I thought you were going to go with, but all right.
I would have tried something very different.
Oh.
It's going to be May.
That would have been a good one, too.
That's so good.
That would have been a good one, too.
How could I forget? Yeah.
All right. So my 6 items, like I said, I was playing Castlevania 2 earlier this week because I like going back and playing the Castlevania games whenever it's spooky season. And for those of you who've never played it, it was the first side-scrolling role-player game kind of that was on the NES, the original NES. A lot of people did not like it, but I still love it to this day. Anyway, when you get to the whole point of the game is you've been cursed by Dracula and you're going around the countryside collecting pieces of Dracula to basically burn and bring him back. And so literally at the end of the game, you get to this altar and these 6 bags like fly up into the air and then all catch on fire and then Dracula comes back. Kind of looks like death, but anyway. So instead of putting them on a pentagram, I guess you're going to throw these 6 items out and they're all going to burn and that's what's going to bring me back. And so the items are a cheeseburger, a Dr. Pepper Zero, a TV guide, a blue caddy hat, a ghost trap, my wedding ring, and then the 2 things you're going to say, or one of the 2 things, which I did go with 2 as well. I guess we were all on the same wavelength, was that's what she said.
Of course.
I kind of thought you were going to go with that one, Jen, or... The problem is you've got to have someone else say something and go to make a long story short and just go too late. Because it doesn't matter. I can be in a meeting for work or whatever, but if someone says to make a long story short, I just instinctively go too late. Even if they hear me or not, it's there. Really?
You have a situation with that cat.
So, well, he's missed his daddy all day today, so he's intent on getting my attention. I'm going to go watch movies in a little bit, buddy. All right. Well, that is our show for the month, ladies and gentlemen. Before we move on to our picks and or pans, if you're listening to the show, which it looks like we've got more people listening to the show, when I post it online, I would love, if you're listening to the show, for you to reply somewhere in the comments with what your list of 6 items are. You're killing me here, Luke. this would be a good time to watch the video version of the show. Anyway, so yeah, if you've got if you can think of the 6 items that you would like people would use to bring you back, and then what your word of power would be, we'd love to hear from you. All right, so let's move to our picks and or pans. Would anyone like to go first?
I'll go.
All right, Kris, what is your pick and or pan?
So it is Thanksgiving here in Canada. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving. So that means that Logan's home. I picked her up on
Hey.
and we're taking her home tomorrow. She doesn't get a reading week because she's in a college program. The university kids all have a reading week next week. So she doesn't. She has classes on Tuesday. But I like having her home. It happened so like it was a blink of an eye. A month just kind of. Here I am driving to pick her up for the weekend, and so that was cool. And it was a full weekend. It was busy, but it was nice. It was still nice. It was minimal drama, which is always very good. And then I got some finger tattoos. I walked into a tattoo parlor. I was like,
show them.
The
Oh,
moon
okay.
and a star, so now I can flip people off, and there's a decoration. That's not what I did.
It looks a little thicker than it actually is because it's still healing.
So I've been getting tattooed since I was 18 years old. So it's been 24 years. And the evolution of healing your tattoos is just we've done the gamut.
Yeah.
Like when we first started, it was polysporin. You're supposed to keep it looking wet,
or Vaseline,
or something to keep it looking wet for a while. And then it was A&D cream. I had to do that for like a week, and then it was you had to just use a unscented hand lotion on it, and then now it's you have to keep it dry.
Yeah.
So
okay.
Stuff on here. This is the first time I've ever had. It's called Second Skin, and it's like a bandage type thing, and so you can see it. I do not like the feeling of this. It feels very strange. I don't like it. Wednesday I get to take it off. But
my sister said it works though. It's really
it does
good.
work.
Yeah.
It does. Yeah, it does work. I
It.
just don't like the feeling of it. But when I was joking with the tattoo artist about how, like, I'm going to see my father-in-law the next day. He's a retired cop, and he's going to be like, "What did you do that for?" She's like, "You can tell him that you are less likely to get trafficked because now you have identifiable marks. Also, you're not going to be eaten by a cannibal because you taste terrible because people with tattoos don't taste very good. And they're pretty." The tattoo artist's name was Jessica. She was very sweet. But yeah, they're pretty. And I'm like, okay. Well, I didn't know about the first two, so that's good.
So we've now tacked that into zombies won't eat you either.
Oh, fair enough.
It's good.
They just take one bite and they're just like,
yeah. Blah.
So I'm like,
it's like you've bitten into a pin, I guess, and you're just like, ah.
exactly, yeah. So I'm guessing they've done research on cannibals. And
Fair enough. Okay.
tattoo people don't taste good. So do with that what you will.
Motherfuckers.
And then my pan is the 7th season of Love Is Blind started at the beginning of this month. Some people are boring, some people are not. Some people are just like, it's weird. But what they've been doing, especially this season, is that a couple will have a full-blown fight, and they only show the aftermath. So we only know that they had a full-blown fight and that somebody said something terrible and outrageous and made the other person leave the room or whatever. And it's just like, I don't care about the aftermath. Show me the fucking fight. I need to know whose side I'm on, because right now you've edited that it could be either, and I don't like that. I want to know definitively who I am mad at. This ambiguity is not fun, and I don't like it. I mean, one guy really like, dude, you fucked up. But like everybody else, I'm like, why? You're there. You're in the room. You're filming it. Why did you edit that out?
To keep watching.
Well, they're not going to show it at all. And then it's the cast members doing the he said, she said thing of like what actually happened. I'm like, I need to see it. So next season, person, if you're watching this, please just include it.
So do you think, are they saving it maybe for like the
They might be
reunion or whatever?
The reunion, because the reunion's on the 30th, but like it's like, so couple things have happened, and then they cuted this couple, and they're having this like really deep talk about how the other one said this one thing and they got into a big fight, and it's just like, what did you fight about? You told
I'm
me
sorry.
all the rest of the story. I don't care about the end. I don't care that you're making up. I don't give a shit about that. What did you fight about? This is important. Because you said you loved each other after 10 days of not seeing each other and only talking. So you went to Mexico. Now you're living together. Clearly, this person is who you're going to be with because you've known each other for 2 weeks. And you need to know what the fight is about. What do you possibly have to fight about after 2 weeks of knowing each other? It's going to be petty and amazing. I need to know. That's it.
It's going to be petty and amazing. Nice.
Yeah.
If you don't go with big weather, there's your other.
There you go. Yeah, absolutely.
Fighting about that. I don't know.
Ray, what are your picks and or pans?
Yeah. So as Kris said, we had really good visits with our family this weekend, which was nice. My pan is work training. I hate all work training. Work training is boring. Everybody knows what it is. It's that
Tick the box.
I can talk to you about it afterwards. So we've been watching Agatha. Really been enjoying Agatha.
So
I won't say anything else at this point.
Okay.
Been enjoying it. Also been enjoying Survivor
Mhm.
because it's back on, which is nice. And then the last pick that I'm going to throw out there is Google TV. We upgraded one of our Chromecasts. It had finally died after like 15 years or 10 years of having it. So, or I don't know how long, but anyway, it was a good chunk of time. So it finally died. So I've replaced it with Google TV, and they allow VPN to run on their as an app. And so now I'm able to go to Netflix down in the States or over in the UK, and it's fantastic, and I love it, and it makes it a lot easier. So, and it's not watching it on the computer all the time. Now we're able to watch on the TV, which is even better.
Nice.
The Great British Baking Show.
Yes, thank you to the States for having that on the Netflix.
Okay.
You're welcome. I didn't do anything. We're going to stay in the normal order. Joseph, picks or pans?
I actually have three picks. Three picks
Okay.
for pans. Bibleverse Book 5. Finished it today. Fantastic. I'm excited for this month's show. Pick number 2. I just started book 4 of Dungeon Crawler Carl, and I cannot wait for you guys to read this because I need to be able to talk about it with someone other than the one friend who is 3 books ahead of me. And this, he's like, all I ever get out of him is like, oh yeah, I remember when that happened. I was like, no, I need more in depth of talking about this. So I cannot wait for y'all. Hopefully, you enjoy it as much as I do. And then the third pick would be yesterday. Yeah, yesterday I bought plane tickets for Elaine's mom to come out here for Thanksgiving. My parents are also coming out here for Thanksgiving, so this is going to be the first Thanksgiving we've had with family in nearly 3 years. So that's going to be great. Does Lynette watch this show?
I don't think so, but I don't know. Save it for after the show.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
That's it.
She does.
I know, right? Jen, picks and or pans?
Okay, so it's been a while since I've been on, and I guess I am playing a lot of board games lately, so that would be a pick because I've gotten really into some of the more involved ones and learned a lot of fun stuff and just making friends that way. So that's been a lot of fun. I've also, over the last 6 weeks, well, as of a week ago, 6 weeks, I watched episodes 4 through 9, Star Wars, at the local theater. One of the local theaters showed each one every week for 6 weeks. And I have a subscription to the theater where you pay like €18 a month and you get to see every movie they show for free. Well, without paying for the ticket. So I got to rewatch all those, and it was just like magical being back in my childhood and the nostalgia. And I hadn't really rewatched the last 3 that came out since they came out in theaters, 5-6 years ago. So it was really good to just get all that, and get back in that universe, because I've missed it, and it just reminded me of how much I love it. So that was great.
Nice.
Pans would be the election and the winter impending. It's cold here and I hate it, and I feel the seasonal depression creeping in already, and daylight savings happens for us like a week before you guys, so it's gonna be dark at like 4 or 5 o'clock soon, so that's not fun. That's it's me.
Fair enough. Well, I normally only try to stick to maybe 1 or 2, but I've got a few. I'm just gonna run through them real quick. Picks. Transformers 1. It was a good movie. I really liked it. Everyone I know who's seen it liked it. If you like Transformers, especially the old ones, the old G1 Transformers, please go watch this movie. It's not doing well in the theaters. Hopefully it'll do better. Maybe when it gets to digital streaming. It has at least made its money back. I don't know if we necessarily need a sequel, but I would love to see it if they decide, oh, maybe we could do something else with it, kind of leading up to what we got in the original G1 cartoons. Sure, let's go with it. But yeah, I really liked it. The boys liked it. It was a lot of fun. My second pick is Christy and I are watching Only Murders in the Building. We have started season 4. God, this is a good show. It is so much fun. We tried watching it a while back, and for some reason, I think there was something else going on. It just didn't really hit. Gave it another shot, and have just run through it. Friggin' love this show. If you haven't watched it, definitely give it a shot. My 3 pans, all kind of actually oddly go together. Number 1 is with a bullet. So I used to get HBO Max, we'll just call it Max now, with my AT&T phone subscription. They dropped it. I no longer got it for free. And I was like, okay, I kind of want to have Max back. So there's a plan that you can get Hulu Plus, Disney Plus, and Max, all for like what I was already paying. So I was like, cool, I'll switch over to this plan. I had to contact Hulu twice because you can't just switch from the thing to the other. No, I had to completely cancel my subscription with Disney Plus and then like contact Hulu and get them to like delete my account for me to finally switch over, which oddly enough, it picked right back up because I had already gone through. Damn it. I said before the show, I hadn't been doing this. I made a spreadsheet of all the shows that we were watching because I thought I was going to lose my watch list, and I didn't want to lose the watch list. So I made a spreadsheet of the watch list, and luckily I did not have to go back through and add everything back. Luckily it did pick back up. But anyway, so that is a pan. I'm like, come on, guys. I mean, they've made it so much easier that I can just go in there and say, hey, I don't want this anymore, unlike, cable subscriptions, which were the friggin' worst. But I'm like, I'm literally wanting to do a plan that you're advertising on your website and you won't let me do it. It was such a pain in the ass. I've been working on this for a week. Anyway, I finally got it to go through. So I got Max back. So last night I watched Salem's Lot on Max. It's a new movie they did. It's not good. Okay, no. let me just say this. If you like old style vampire movies, you'll like it. But it's not Salem's Lot. Like some of the characters are named the same, but like they changed the characters up. They changed their motivations. The only 2 things that I really liked about the movie were, 1, I like how they did the vampires. The vampires were kind of bluish gray, and their eyes actually glue red, kind of like what you would think like out of an old horror movie. That was pretty cool. And the second thing was, and I wish Sean was on here because he's the one that brought it up when we reviewed Salem's Lot, is the scene where Mark is like focused and he's getting himself out of the bonds. They literally open with him like at the schoolyard showing the other boys, because he's a big fan of Houdini, hey, I can actually get out of these, and he's trying to show off how to do it. So when he does it later on in the movie, it doesn't come out of left field, like Sean said. So that was kind of cool. They did a couple of gender swaps. They did a couple of race swaps. They were perfectly fine, but they just, I don't know. It was, like I said, if you like older style vampire movies, you'll probably like it. If you're a fan of the book like I am, yeah, it's still not a good adaptation. Which leads me to my last pan, which was so I've been working around the house. Specifically, I put in like 7 hours today working on Alex's costume out in the garage. I have been listening. I've been trying, it's the spooky season, so I've been listening to horror stuff. And I'd never listened to Nightmares and Dreamscapes by Stephen King. They divided this book into 3 separate sections. Part 1, Part 2, Part 3. When you get to the end of Part 3, cost me 3 credits, mind you. Get to the end of Part 3, there's a thing where it's Stephen King. He's talking. He's referencing all 3. I'm like, oh, they clearly chopped this one book up into 3 audiobooks so they could. And I'm like, nope. First of all, I don't think the stories were his best work. They were less horror and more like oddity type stories. There were a couple of good ones in there, but for the most part, I was just like, nah. So either tonight or tomorrow, I'm probably going to return all 3 of them and get my credits back, and I'll probably end up using them up on Dungeon Crawler Carl. So I was like, well, I'll go with these. If I end up burning the credits, I burn the credits, whatever. But I was just like, yeah, I'm getting the credits back on this one. This was not a good one. So. And it's actually, I remember the commercials for this when it came out, like, and because I've sent some on the back channel and stuff, on our channels, those, do y'all remember those old commercials for books, like back in the 80s and 90s when they would do them? I always thought it was weird. I was like, why is there a TV commercial for a book? But I guess they just thought it was a good advertising campaign. So, all right. Well, that is our show, ladies and gentlemen. If you would please give us a 5-star rating on wherever you watch or listen to the show, whether it be YouTube or any of the other podcast apps that you can watch the show or listen to it on. You can find us at epicallygeeky.com, where you can find the other shows we do, including the Marginally Geeky, Creatively Geeky, and Sustainably Geeky shows. You can find us online at Facebook and Instagram as well. Where can we find you online, Ray?
Poking Sean to get on the fucking show for once. Thankful that Jen came too after me poking that as well.
I was bullied.
I know, right?
Peer
Social
pressure.
Yeah.
And then the reluctant Yeti on Instagram.
Kris?
Moody Midlife on Instagram.
Jen?
On Sustainably Geeky, which is a sister podcast for this one, and I guess very occasionally on Marginally Geeky, and Instagram and Twitter at Het's Gonna Be Me.
Joseph?
Jay Morales on AIM.
Shut up.
On AIM. Oh my God. And as always, you can find my individual wacky adventure online at Optimus Gene on Facebook and Instagram. For everyone on the site, have a good night.